Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonati, your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by our friend and TV radio senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff. We also, in the background, we have still Ethan Euchre with us, so that's good. He is the voice from beyond. And then we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon sitting with us, Dr. Alfred Bonati. Thank you for being here, sir.
Hello.
Well, you know, we talk about how Dr. Bonati revolutionized spine surgery. You know, he started with traditional open back surgery, and he saw the high failure rate, and that bothered him. So that made him think, how could he change things for people? And he developed his own patented methods and tools to make that happen. And the methods we're talking about are the Bonati spine procedures, and they are exclusive to the Bonati Spine Institute. And they reflect a 98.70 or 75 immediate satisfaction rate with our patients. So there is hope. A lot of people are being diagnosed saying you're going to have to live in pain. You're going to either be wheelchair bound for the rest of your life or on walkers or on these pain meds. But the reality of it is, a majority of the time when they come to us, even after receiving failed back surgery elsewhere, Bonati succeeds where others fail, and they're remedied. Their true root of the pain is resolved, not just a symptom of that problem, but the true root of the pain. That is something Dr. Alfred Bonati has been integral in pinpointing, and the doctors at the Bonati Spine Institute, they are able to quickly remedy your problem. So on the show today, we have Dr. Ben Carson coming up, and he's the Washington Times columnist and Fox News contributor and former member of the President's Council on Bioethics. So we're very excited about that. And also coming up, we have our...
In today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
So on the line from Newport, North Carolina, I have Tim Turner on the phone, a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute. He received the Bonati Spine procedures. He's on the line, so thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for taking the time to join us on the radio program.
No, thank you.
And we're interested in hearing about the different lumbar surgeries you had. What brought on the pain that you were in? Kind of walk us through the process. What caused it?
Well, about 22 years ago, I had an accident, fell about 40 feet to concrete, and pretty much got well from that over about a 2-year period of time. Mm-hmm. And basically, you know, over time, things just started degenerating. And in 2011, I really started having lower back pain, and it began to affect my work and a few other things. And so I went up to Duke Medical Center and had a L5, S1 partial laminectomy, and that was somewhat successful. Mm-hmm. And basically, about a year later, I went to a rheumatologist who did an adjustment on my spine, and he re-herniated the disc and herniated a couple of discs above that. Oh. And it really, really put me down, and that was in December. And I was out of work from December until I went to Bonati in the 1st of April.
Now you talk about coming to Dr. Bonati, but if we can backtrack just a teeny bit, did you try to do any conservative methods for your back problem?
I had epidural injections. I went through facet joint injections, pain management, of course. They loaded me up on pain pills. And basically, I did physical therapy, just about the whole gamut of anything you can think of, they put me through. And none of it was successful at all. It just, actually, most of it made it a little bit worse.
Tim, you told us that before your injury was re-aggravated, that originally came from a fall 40 feet onto concrete.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Did that happen on the job? What line of work are you in?
Yeah, well, I'm in the line of computer work now because obviously I couldn't do construction anymore. At that time, I owned a roofing company, and I cut a hole in the roof and covered it with tar paper and I walked right off into it.
Oh man! So after they re-aggravated your back issues, how did you find the Bonati Spine Institute?
Well, the company I own now, basically it was my bookkeeper. She went down and had surgery on her L5S1, and she come back and told me how great it was and that she drove herself back from Tampa. And I'm like, you did what? She's like, yeah, I drove myself back from Tampa 2 days after my surgery. I'm like, I don't believe you. So she basically kept giving him praise.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to several spine surgeons here, 2 orthopods and 1 neurosurgeon, and they basically all told me the same thing. My only hope was spinal fusion, and that I would be in pain management the rest of my life, taking pain pills, et cetera, and that just was not an acceptable thing for me because I'm too young to retire and go on disability, and that just weren't an option.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay. Yeah, so a very young man being told that he's going to have to be on pain meds for the rest of his life. So like you said, that wasn't an option. When you're talking about the type of pain and what you felt, why don't you describe that to the listeners?
When it very first started, it was basically just a back pain, and it would radiate out just a little bit into my butt. And progressively, before I had my first surgery, it would, go down my leg, and finally it got all the way down into my foot, and it was like a burning, aching, burning. Foot would tingle a little bit. I had the surgery at Duke, and like I say, over about a period of 6 months, I healed to about 90%. I was able to go back to work, do most anything I wanted to, but I still had a little bit of pain left.
Okay.
And then after I was re-aggravated by the adjustment, instantly that very day, it was burning all the way to my foot. It felt like my leg was on fire. It was intense pain, debilitating to the point that I couldn't work. I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything more than about 20 feet, and my leg would collapse out from under me, and I couldn't even walk. So doing my job was just crawling under desks, taking care of people's stuff. I do doctor's offices and everything else in the IT world, so it was just impossible for me to do my job with that much pain.
Tim, tell us a little bit about when you initially contacted the Bonati Spine Institute and how you were evaluated. Walk us through that.
Well, I contacted them and asked them was I a candidate, and of course, asked about everything and insurance and whatnot, and they wanted me to send the MRI down, so I sent the MRI down. They viewed the MRI and instantly called me back and said, yeah, you're a candidate. We can help you. I'm like, well, okay. So, everybody has a little bit of reservations when you're going to somewhere you don't know that much about.
Right.
But fortunately, I have a cousin that is a trauma surgeon in a hospital in North Carolina. And so I gave him a call and I said, well, search this guy out and find out if he's really what he's advertised. And so about a week later, he called me back and he said, Tim, that's exactly where you need to go. This guy is fixing people. You need to go there. And so I went.
Were you aware at that time that he was the one that invented minimally invasive laser spine surgery? I mean,
No, not at all.
It was open back surgery and then the Bonati spine procedures. So he was integral in changing spine surgery forever. So I'm glad you found your way to the Bonati Spine Institute. Why don't you walk us through from the point where you actually walked through the door?
Well, when I came in, I met Paul, and he was very nice. He introduced himself, and he gave me a little name tag, and my friend that came with me gave him a name tag. He walked me back and introduced me to everyone. And basically, as I went through the procedure of going through the clinic and getting examined and all that stuff, the first thing I noticed is everybody had a smile on their face. As many doctor's offices as I've been in, I've never, ever been anywhere that everybody there has a smile on their face. They're joking, laughing, and it took so much of the stress and so much of the anxiety away from knowing that I was going to have back surgery just because they take your mind away from it by playing, joking, and having a good attitude. Everybody knew what the right hand knew what the left hand was doing. When I went from one spot to the next, everybody knew what I was going to be doing. They knew I was going to be there. It was just, I just don't have a word to explain it except for it was very well planned and carried out.
Now, Tim, when they explained to you the procedure, and that you would be awake, alert, and aware while the surgeons were actually locating where the pain was and correcting that area. Walk us through that once you got into the operating room.
Well, at first, I was really nervous about that because, you think about somebody cutting on you and you're going to be awake. But actually, I went in, got on the table, had an IV put in, of course, and they gave me a shot, said it's going to burn a little bit. They numbed it out. I didn't feel a thing. And so they got to doing the surgery, and, of course, you feel some things. And he would hit a spot and say, is this where it hurts? No, that's not it. He did another spot. This is where it hurts. No, that's not it. Mm-hmm. Is this the spot? Yep. Oh, that's it right there. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He fixed that. After my first procedure, I was able to, 3 hours later, get up and walk for about 30 minutes and didn't have really, I'd say 80% of my pain was gone from the very first surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tim, let me hold you right there. We need to go to a break. Kimberly, if people are experiencing neck pain, back pain, leg pain, issues with sciatica.
Headaches. Also, RSD is another thing that the Bonati spine procedures also help. So people that suffer with those, you can reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute at bonati.com or call 855-267-0482 or show up to the Bonati Spine Institute at 7315 Hudson Avenue, right at the corner of 19 and Hudson, about 40 minutes north of the Tampa Bay area. You are listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970. Again, there is hope. Bonati does succeed where others fail. Coming up after the break, we're going to hear more from Tim Turner. You are listening to News Radio 970, WFLA. We'll catch you on the flip side of the break. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic. It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.